Welcome to the Jessica Broadway podcast, where life is now in session and we have a lot to talk about. My hope is that through our time together, you get some encouragement and endurance for the journey that you're on and the story that you're writing with your life. This podcast exists to kind of bring to life the lessons that we are learning and the stories that we're writing with our experiences, really. I love deep conversations. I love learning new things. I'm a very curious person, and I haven't always been that way. I went through a season where I was very critical, in fact. And learning to go from being critical to curious has been a journey that required a lot of healing and a different mindset. So, this week's episode is about holy housework. Now, I will tell you that I had some concern at one point in my life that if I was saying holy housework, that I was being somewhat sacrilegious, because I don't feel like anything is holy about cleaning toilets. But it was something shifted for me. I was finding myself getting growingly irritated. I've been a mom for 17 years and I have 3 boys. And I'm sure you can imagine all the messes that we get to clean up. And it's always been really important to me that relationships are the priority and that I choose relationships over pretty much anything else. So if there's a mess that can be fixed with a little bit of soap and water, maybe there's some coaching that goes into that, teaching them how to not do it or how to help clean it up. But for the most part, I really value not like losing my cool over messes. Now, the other side of that is that sometimes the messes are overwhelming and they're a lot to handle and they require a lot of you and they take energy, and you walk into a room and all you can see is all the unfinished projects, and that can feel overwhelming, and that can very, very quickly kind of hijack the moment. And instead of choosing what I value, which is the relationships, I end up yielding to the emotions, and it can become, I can be quite critical, actually. I can be quite upset and I can feel underappreciated and I can feel a lot of things when things are out of order and there's one more mess to clean up. Summers are, I think, particularly a challenge because everyone's home all the time and there's 3 meals a day and there's snacks in between and there's sleepovers and there's I'm going to clean my rooms, but I don't clean my room. And there's the never ending laundry that comes with it. And if you work, then there's that on top of it. So I think things come to a boiling point for a lot of moms out there, a lot of people out there who find that chores and the endless housework is sometimes very monotonous. No, it's always monotonous. It's never like, yay, I'm getting to clean. But I always feel better when I clean and I restore order to my home. And in an attempt to kind of help myself keep choosing the things I find valuable, which is relationships, I often say to the kids out loud, hey, I'm really frustrated by this, but I'm going to choose relationship over the mess. And I'm going to go to the other room till I collect myself. And then I'm going to come back because I want us to be okay. And then I want us to figure out how to clean up the mess. I hope that my kids choose that. I say that to them when they get upset about things. Hey, you can buy new snacks, but you can't buy a new brother. So choose the relationship over the stuff all the time. But because we're human, that stuff gets dysregulated sometimes, and we end up choosing less than what we would hope for ourselves. So to kind of help myself, one of the things that I did, there's 2 things that I think has made a big difference in me and the way that I'm able to navigate doing chores with or without help, and not, losing my cool when things don't go my way around getting help to clean up. And one of those has been, truthfully, when I'm overstimulated, is just put earplugs in. Not because I'm avoiding anything, but because I need to redirect my attention. And when I put the earplugs in, I put on worship music because that helps change my mindset. I find it difficult to be angry and to yell at people when there's praise music and worship going on. It's a heart posture. And so I call it my holy housework. And I put that on to do my things, and I pray over my family. I clean the floors and I wash the floors, and I think about washing away, the things that are frustrating, or I think about, cleansing and preparing my home for its next adventure. I pray over each room that I go in to clean. Yes, even the toilets get blessed. It's maybe to some people might sound kind of silly, but for me, it is absolutely a mindset shift. And this holy housework kind of concept has really transformed the way that I see the things that I get to do around my home, and the things that I get to do for me too, to keep myself feeling peaceful and calm and collected. Now, I can handle quite a bit of chaos. I promise you, our home is not spotless. And because I practice this holy housework does not mean that everything in my home is spick and span and perfectly neat and tidy. It is not. We live here. And there's a level that I have accepted as my threshold for chaos. Everybody's fingerprint for that is different. Everyone's tolerance level for that is different. But when you do have to clean, and if you are someone who gets frustrated, I just want to offer you this idea of seeing everything that you do as holy, right? And First Peter 1:15 says, "But just as he who called you is holy, so be holy in all you do." Being holy isn't about perfection at all. It's about a mindset that says, I want to be holy in everything that I do. I want to honor God in everything that I do. I want to honor my family. I want to do things that equip me to choose my highest value, the thing that I prize, the relationships, right? That's what I want to lead with. And I need to get myself, sorry, there was a fly, just flew right in my face. Uh, the things that I value, I want to be able to choose those. And if my mindset's not right, if my mindset is focused on what I lack, nobody wants to help. I have to do it all myself. I hate this mess. Why can't anybody clean up after them? If the focus is the problem, I promise you it will expand, and it will become proof that whatever you think you're undervalued, or nobody cares, it'll start to become weaponized, and it'll start to become a bitterness in you, and it will change the relationships. People in your family won't want to have people come over, because they don't want to have the stress of what it's like when people come over and mom rage cleans, right? It's not helpful, and it's not, you are the hospitality of your home, whether you like it or not. Women are the emotional holder of their home. I don't know a better way to say that, but it's so important that we understand the value that we bring to the home, and we do set a tone. That's not permission to manipulate everybody in our homes, but it is to understand the responsibility and the stewardship of maintaining a place that is hospitable, and it's inviting, and it's that place that you want to welcome people to. That is largely impacted by women. We have a great deal of influence over our homes, and yes, absolutely, everybody is responsible for themselves, and everybody should participate in taking care of the home. It's just that, we have a unique influence. So our attitude does shape the tone of our homes, the condition of the heart postures. And if we're not right, it's going to affect our home. So if you're struggling with that, if that seems to be something that causes you pain and friction and frustration, I just want to offer you that scripture to be, what would it look like for you to be holy in all that you do? I like a little acronym for that. I'm a big fan of acronyms. So for me, this is how I've gotten a holy mindset. Holy The H is for humility, remembering who you are and the big grand scheme of things. So looking beyond the moment and saying, who am I? And who am I in relation to God? Is my bad mood more important than my character and the modeling and responsibility that I am displaying and been held responsible for these sweet kiddos that I'm raising, for the husband that I'm in a relationship with? Like that, understanding humility and your place in the world is not subservient or oppressive, but it is having a bigger lens for what matters and what's important. So humility. And then the O is for order. Chaos breeds confusion, and clarity is driven by order. So when you can put order to something, you're going to get a lot more clarity. So if you're looking at your life and there's chaos everywhere, just start somewhere simple. What can I restore order to? That's one of the beautiful things about the Holy Spirit and about the way the world was formed. There was just this void of chaos, if you will, like nothing there, and the waters were raging, and then God said, hey, I'm going to split these things apart. I'm going to apply order to the chaos. I'm going to start creating organization and systems. So that's a big piece of honoring being holy, and all you do is bringing order to it. And then the L is for love. Love has to lead the way, because you can be a great many things, but if you do not have love, you're nothing but a resounding gong. So let love be the way that you lead in everything that you do. And then the Y is for yielding. Yield the things that you cannot control. Release, which, on a big grand scheme, we really don't control anything at all, but we think we do. And that's the point, right? Yield to God and stop trying to control things, take them for yourself, realizing again your order, your honor, where you are in your humility of your place and how you operate and you function, and all the relationships around you. That's important. And what of those things do you need to yield to God and really lay at the feet of Jesus and pray over them? That's the last piece of it. And when I apply those things, I do feel like I am acting in a holy way that helps with my mindset. What is the holy mindset, and what can I do? And I hope that is encouraging to you. This podcast is here to provide life lessons and teachable moments, and some of those I share from my own experiences. Some of them I share from the stories of my guests that are here, but it's all for your encouragement and your endurance, because I think that most things in life can be solved if you had just a little bit of encouragement, or you had some tools that helped you feel like you had endurance for whatever that is that you're going through. And you're going to write a story with it. You're going to make it become something. You're going to apply meaning to it. And I want that meaning to be deep and valuable and enrich you and move you closer to the version of your life that you'd like to have. So thank you for listening. Whether you're driving around in your car, folding laundry, or hanging out with friends, I appreciate you being here. And thank you for joining me. And until next time, live your purpose, love your people, and don't stop creating possibilities.